Welcome to episode 7 of No Shoulds Given. We are back from our Christmas break, ready to head into the new year, pressure cooker, and that urge to totally reinvent yourself come New Year's Day.
It's that strange energy, isn't it, with New Year's Day, where you kind of have this pressure to reinvent yourself, this rebirth ritual, a part performance review, and put a truckload of pressure on yourself.
It can be a bit awkward, can't it? You can kind of feel like, well, last year didn't go to plan, and hold yourself accountable some invisible should score sheet that makes you feel like a failure. And thinking that you need to completely change everything about yourself to succeed next year. And also, it can be really, really overwhelming that there's this whole year ahead of you, and you're like, oh God, have I got to do it again?
Mm.
Kind of thing. Um,
And I
yeah,
think that we can look at this from two different directions as well. Like, if your year didn't quite go to plan, there's almost that panic. What did I do wrong? I want to ensure that doesn't happen again. Or if your year did go really well, then there's also that pressure of, right, how do I repeat that and times it by 10? So it's like this mad panic of getting it right on day one. Like, why do we have this pressure that you go from the 31st of December into the 1st of January and we're supposed to be a brand new person, having all our shit together, knowing exactly what we need to be doing, when we need to be doing it, and all of a sudden all our habits, thoughts, decision making is all just completely exploded,
yeah.
changed, evolved.
It can be really motivating, but it can set you up with a whole host of unrealistic expectations that just aren't going to be carried through with you for the whole year. And that's not anything you're doing wrong either, is it? We forget that just because the calendar has flicked round, we're still carrying those habits, behaviors. Our nervous system is regulated to the level that it's at. We can only hold so much. So you can have the most motivating intentions and set out as clear pathed, locked in as you want to be, but sometimes the foundation isn't there to support it.
Also, though, and do correct me if you disagree, but I believe that the reasons why people fail before they've even begun, or they have this pressure on themselves, is because they're looking at what everybody else is doing. Or it's the 1st of January. What should I be doing? What should I look and focus on in the new year? Oh, I know. I'll lose weight
Yeah.
every bloody year. And it's like, why? Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to earn more money? Why do you want whatever it is that you want? And we really need to get to the crux of, what do I want out of 2026? If I want to make changes, because there are no pressure whatsoever. If you're happy in 2025 and things are going exactly the way that you want them to, great. Walk into 2026 in exactly the same energy. Bring it on. But if you're wanting to make those changes, great, that's fine too. But why? Why do you actually want it? Because if we can't get to the real crux of that, you're never going to stick with it. Because at the end of the day, motivation only lasts a certain amount of time, and it doesn't get you through the hard times. It doesn't get you through the difficult times when your brain's telling you, I've had a hard day at work and I can't be fucking asked to go and pound that street outside. It's raining. It's cold. Why do you want to run? Why do you want to lose weight? Why? And let's get really, really deep with it to help you create the goals, the aspirations, and the drive to move forward with them.
No, I completely agree. I think this time of year, like I've said, it comes with this invisible rule book of what you should overhaul to fit in with society. And invisible standards to live up to. You know, you should exercise more, you should lose weight, you should cut out alcohol in January, you know, all of those ones. And yes, they're great. And yes, maybe you should. And there is an argument that you do probably. I definitely need to move more because I sit down all day now. But where is it coming from? You know,
Yeah.
that for me personally is definitely on my radar of improving my mobility again. Like we just said before we started recording this, my hip's starting to hurt. I'm really noticing that I've gone from being incredibly active in my work to not being very active, and it is playing a part. So for me, when I come to thinking like, what do I need to do? What do I want to address? Building in that mobility back into my routine needs to be pretty high. But that's just like on a Wednesday afternoon. I'm not doing that because it's New Year's Day. It's not
Yeah.
coming from that lack point of, oh, I'm not good enough. I need to do X, Y, and Z to make myself better. That's coming from right, I'm noticing that this is hurting more at the moment, so I need to do something about it. I need
Yeah.
to make that change, and I'm making that change now. And that could be like September, December, February, whenever.
Yeah. See, just thinking about this whole movement and losing weight, because I'm about 4 stone overweight, do I let that bother me? No. I ran a half marathon this year. Like, I did that without needing to lose weight, because the goal for me was to
Mhm.
set a really high goal for myself to raise money for Refuge, which is a charity that's so close to my heart. And I wanted to make the challenge big for me. And I did it, and I smashed it, and I loved it. Do I need to lose weight? Yes, for my health. Do I need to lose weight for my confidence? Absolutely fucking not. I've got absolutely no problem walking around a swimming pool in my swimming costume and I feel good about myself. But what I've realized is for me, I've achieved so much this year, which I'm so proud of. It's like, what can I do to raise that energy even higher for me to then move forward and smash the next level of whatever that might be? And for me, it was like, do you know what? If I was to lose some weight, and I'm not saying I'm going to lose 4 stone, I'm not going to say I'm going to lose 6 stone. I'm definitely not going to be taking injections, and I've got nothing against anybody who does, each to their own. But what am I going to do to try and bring that energy level up, that so I feel better on a daily basis?
Yeah. I'm not going to fall back into my PT mode too much, but I've spent a lot of time working with people with physical, mental goals that are around health. Um, the fastest way to reach a weight goal is to detach from the weight full stop.
Exactly right, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Weight is just the byproduct of how I'm going to get to where I want, and I have been so excited about doing a high rocks challenge. Mental. When I told my oldest son and my husband, do you know what? I really fancy doing high rocks competition. They were like, "What? You?" Yep, that's made me even more determined. Not
Yeah.
because, and they would support me. I'm not saying that, but I'm like, yeah, me? Why the hell not? And the weight loss didn't even come from that. But it's just the more I've thought about it, I'm like, if I'm really pushing myself to that next level, I mean, honestly, I'm so excited about it. And I can't explain to you why. I've got absolutely no idea, but I'm just so excited that I hate gyms. Absolutely cannot stand a gym because I beat myself up in one. Can't wait to join one of those gyms. I can't wait to actually get outside and start running, because you need to run 8K. And I'm like, do you know what? When was the last time I ran 5K without stopping? Bloody hell, that's been a couple of years. Can't wait to do that again. So it's the excitement behind it. It's not about the losing the weight, but actually for me to start running 5K without stopping again. Where was I when I could achieve that? 2 stone lighter than I am now. If I do a high rocks, how would I like to feel? How would I like to look? And it's not following everybody else, 'cause I couldn't give a shit. And I don't care about time either. But in my head, it's like, my God, imagine if I lost that weight and I got fitter and fitter and fitter. And then I can go running in 3 years' time with my husband and we can keep up with each other. And that's a massive goal for me. So it's not even a 12-month goal, it's a 3-year goal. Because for the last 6 years, all I've ever wanted to do was go for a run with him and be able to like keep up with
You have
him.
to keep up.
Like couple
But none of
goals,
that
bring it
is
on.
result like all of you want to be challenged. You want to challenge that feels good and is a physical and mental challenge
Yeah,
because fuck me, that high rocks is going to take you to
I
a
know.
deep, dark place where you are going to have
Bring
to
it
dig
on.
in. And that feels really, really good. And
Can
then,
you remind me when I'm doing those burpees and I'm literally
oh, I
hating life?
love
Are you
burpees.
gonna whip
I
my
am
butt? Yeah.
weird. I know we
I
know
hate
that I'm
'em.
weird, but I absolutely love them. It's so weird. If like you can just do one exercise and get everything done in one go, then
Yeah.
smarter, not harder. Um, but you're getting excited about the journey there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's
Exactly.
not a case of I want to lose weight. It's none of those like tangible
No.
tick box things.
I
It's about
need to
you
lose 4
challenging
stone.
yourself completely out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
That is a mental and physical challenge. And actually, them boys going, "What, mum, you? Shut up." They do not know what they have done. Is they've lit that match. It doesn't have to be, the scales can be a little bit higher than where you want, and you can be happy and you can be content and you
Yeah.
can like the way you look and you cannot have to look in the mirror every day and be like, oh my God, I need to lose weight, blah, blah, blah. Despite what all of that messaging, all of that conditioning, everything that you're going to be exposed to for the next few weeks, you can look in the mirror and go, fuck, I look good.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what the scales are, that is possible. We're just so conditioned to thinking that we're not enough and that to be enough, we have to be our lowest possible weight. And as
Well, you know
someone
that
that
I am
has been her lowest possible weight as an adult, weighing the same size as a child, wearing her 9-year-old's dresses as a top, you don't feel better there either.
no. But I've been there as well. I've been a size 10, size 8 stroke 10. And then I am where I am now. And I can tell you now, when you don't have inner confidence, you feel worse at a size 8 to 10 than you do at my size now. Trust me. Because those voices get louder. You think by losing weight, you're going to become more confident. You're going to love yourself more. You're going to feel great. Yeah, it's temporary. It is not permanent. And you get dressed. And trust me when I say, I would try on 5, 10 different outfits to feel not fat at a size 10. Now, don't get me wrong, there are times, obviously, we're all going to have days where we feel bloated, we feel this, we feel that, and we feel better in one thing than another. I am way more confident now than I've ever been at that size because weight is only skin deep. We need to work from the inside out. The one thing I'm refusing to do, because I know instantly this would put me off, is I will not be walking 10,000 steps a day. That is not happening because as soon as I set that target, I'm setting myself to fail. I know that I physically can't do that around my diary every single day, and that's fine. So I'm not setting it.
So this is something that I do. Um,
Excuse
I
me.
I set my goals and intentions and things in a very soft way now because I am quite obsessive. I'm very competitive. I have a very bad history of over exercising, under eating, the extremes. Like I've had a whole lifetime of disordered eating and even now it takes a lot for me to admit that, and I massively over exercise and things, so I have a softer way of setting my goals and expectations on myself now, purely because I don't want to fall back into that mindset. You know,
Yeah.
I've worked really, really, really fucking hard to be as happy and content and peaceful as I am in my life right now. But I know that in times of stress and things, if I have all of these restricted goals on me, that is the way it tends to go. So for me, when I want to be more active or building movement and things, one of the things I will start to do is just say I'm going to go for a walk every day,
Mhm.
and I attach nothing to it. No steps, no time, no distance, anything like that. I'm going to go for a walk, and depending on what that day is and what's in my diary, where I am, weather, whatever, that can be for an hour and a half, could be 45 minutes, could be just 10 minutes round the block or 5 minutes to the shop and back. But I've done it.
Yeah.
I've been for a walk, and it's
Yeah.
much easier to reinforce that habit without any intention attached to it of every day I'm going to go for a walk. And for me, it's really important that I don't take the dog,
Yeah.
because it's then something for me, because everything I do is always in service of other people. Um, so for me, it's a walk without the dog once a day. And then within a few weeks of doing a walk once a day, then you can be like this week, those 3 days I can see I can do an hour walk on those days. And then you can start to build the structure because you're building the habit.
Yeah.
Your body and your mind and everything is settled into that repetition. Then you can start to add the layers onto it if you want. If you don't want and you just want to keep it open, that's fine too.
Yeah, 100%. So, to keep the goal setting really simple for you guys, I actually look at it like a sat nav. So, for example, how do you arrive at a destination that you've never been to before without any indication on how you're going to get there? You can't. You're never going to travel without a sat nav, a map, or some kind of map app. I suppose people don't tend to actually use maps these days, do they?
I love a map though.
So do I. Um, we need the road signs, otherwise we would get lost. So if we want to go to places we've never been before, we need to drive on roads that we've never driven on before. And that's exactly the same as our goals. What do we want to achieve? Why do we want to achieve it? How are we going to do it? Yeah. So if we want to go to places we've never been to before, then we need to create some goals or some aspirations, because otherwise, how the hell are we going to get there? But I want you to remember this, that sat navs, they don't come without their diverts. So goal setting and aspirations are your sat nav. They're guiding you through every phase that you are going to embark on until you reach that final destination or that final success. Every diver, every bump in the road, every traffic jam that you're sat in, and the sat nav diverts you off of that M6 onto another road so you can get to your destination quicker. Yeah. It's a divert for a reason. Just because things don't go as you plan, thinking just going up the M6 is going to get you where you need to go. Oh, well, if we've had to divert off, I've fucking failed. No, we're taking you round another way to get you to where you need to be, rather than you sitting in that traffic jam for the next 3 hours. So goals, aspirations, intentions are incredible if you don't want to stay where you are right now. But remember that not everything goes to plan. Life doesn't go to plan. You're not failing. Nothing's going wrong. You're just being diverted to a clearer route to get to where you need to be.
Yeah, I love that as an example. It's that reframe, isn't it? It's that mindset shift of, okay, so I wanted to go from A to B. It hasn't quite worked. We're going to have to divert via, like, in my world, like the rest of the fucking alphabet. times, but we're still going in the right direction. And
Exactly.
it's
We're still
letting go of
heading.
that how. It's letting go of that need to be right, always working in a traditional tick box way, but making the promise to yourself that we're going to get to that end goal. Like,
Yeah. And
to hold yourself a little bit accountable, be like, that didn't work out. Right. I've got to go again. Fine. Plan B. We're going that way. But also not being so blinkered to the first path and
mm,
that being the only way, that you beat yourself up so hard when it starts to go wrong or something comes up or there's a
or you
delay or a
think it's
diversion.
going wrong.
You
You
think it's
think,
going wrong.
and you're creating this frustration and this anger and this upset for yourself. But actually, if you let go of this expectation that you're getting to the journey on the M6 and that's it, and that you've taken the diver and all of a sudden you're going through this incredible village, or you've got these mountains or hillsides, or you're going through the lakes, whatever it might be, and you're enjoying the journey. You can look at the
Beautiful scene.
surroundings and your scenery and actually enjoy it, instead of just being focused on that end destination all the time. Like you said to me earlier, like, you're excited for the journey. Yeah, I am. And I didn't realize till you said it. I can't
You'll
think of the word.
lose weight just as a byproduct of being on that and doing that
Yeah,
activity.
I'm taking the journey.
Yeah.
However long it takes me to lose weight. Don't get me wrong, I have set myself a little target, but do you know what? I'm not going to beat myself up about it. Not if I'm running. I'm running 5K, and I'm doing the challenge, the High Rocks challenge. I'm even going to climb Snowdon next year for charity. And I do have health issues. There are situations with my heart. I do have asthma. So to lose weight is the logical thing to do. But I'm not going to sit here and beat myself up. Like, that will be a part of the byproduct. It will be in my mind, start eating slightly healthier, add more fruit and veg to my diet. I'm not cutting everything out. I'm not punishing myself. I'm not going on shakes. I'm just going to be moving more, doing what I'm really excited about, and let's see what bloody happens. And I
Yeah.
can't wait.
We overload ourselves into this massive, big change when actually you have all of these external intentions, resolutions, goals, whatever the fuck you want to call them. But actually, if you want to make the biggest change, like, sit with your behavior. What is the most like distracting habit that you have got, and look to cut that out? For me, it's probably Netflix.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't
Like,
it
I
really
could be
weird?
well.
Because
I
you're
could be
saying that, and
working
I'm
out
like,
rather than watching Netflix. I
yeah, but
could
I'm just
be
thinking,
doing anything other than watching Netflix.
what's wrong with watching Netflix? Because I'm
There's
thinking I
nothing,
need more of
absolutely
this in my
nothing wrong
life,
with
you know?
watching Netflix. Absolutely nothing wrong with watching Netflix. But it probably is the habit that I could get out of. Because for me, I know this is the other thing. It's, for me, that is a retreating habit. Yeah, so it's my protector part. One of my biggest protectors is retreat. When things get
Mhm.
too much, I go inward and go in on myself. So if I'm doing a lot, quite often, it is a mask for feeling something else that I probably need to be sitting with and not
Right, okay.
binging Cowboys on Netflix. So all of these behaviors, they have something beneath them.
Yeah.
Take that
See, whereas
away.
I feel like I need more Netflix, as over this Christmas period, I have completely switched off, shut down. I have barely left my bed after the day after Boxing Day up until today. And it has been exactly what the doctor ordered,
Mm.
because I have literally rushed, moved, next commitment, next commitment, next commitment all year. And don't get me wrong, for me, it's been an incredible year and I am so grateful. It's come with its lows as well, like anything and everything. But my nervous system was shot to pieces. And I have been trying my hardest to add little bits in here and there to try and keep it under control. But to actually fully shut off and slow down and be really, not even really mindful of what I'm doing, other than I know the benefit it was giving me every single day. And I feel so incredible for it, that I feel so energized and ready for the new year, losing that panic, losing that, um, oh, should I be doing more? Because, like we were saying, weren't
Mm.
we, earlier, like when you look on social media and you're looking at what everybody else is doing, it's very noisy out there at the minute. And yes, I truly believe in, let's not just shut down for the whole of December. I've not shut down my business. I'm still working with clients. Um, but I've slowed down massively for myself and it's been incredible. And that's actually something I'm going to be taking into the new year, because I need to be able to retreat more and allow myself, this brain, to switch off now and again. But obviously for you, you've realized that actually the times that you do that is you're hiding away from what you actually need to face up to.
Yeah, mine is very, very, very much still rooted in a trauma response.
Yeah.
And it's a big work in progress. And I'm
Mm.
aware that that is what I do. But
And there's nothing wrong.
like it isn't a bad habit. It's
No.
not there probably is the other side of the coin is, well, you probably do need to still be in that restorative state and letting things recalibrate. But it's for me, it's about understanding that that is my go-to when I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed by stuff, a little bit like this feels uncomfortable. This is how I'm going to keep myself safe. When actually, and that worked perfectly before. I really, really
Yeah.
needed that in my life. But now I'm at a stage where that I can kind of break up with that behavior and say, thanks for trying to keep me safe. I'm not under threat in the same way anymore. We can move differently now.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's
So
nothing about.
have you set your goals and intentions for the new year? I've got 9 and I know I've got more, but I thought I'm gonna keep it at
Nine.
9. Yeah, but this is personal and business. Last
Okay.
year, I only set business, that was it, and I've lost all balance in my life. I haven't seen my hubby and kids all year. I've
Mhm.
had no fun. Don't get me wrong, working my business doesn't feel like work. I
Yeah,
absolutely love
that's
it. I
the
love
thing, isn't
traveling the
it?
country to speak. I've traveled into Europe twice. Like, it's been incredible, but there has to be some downtime, there has to be family time. So I've decided that I've got half is business, half is personal. And I'm so excited for it. I've done like a bingo card. So it's like 9 squares. This is different. I'm not doing the vision board this year because I feel like I look at pictures on a wall, and although they keep me in that all inspired um energy, some of them I have crossed off, but when I've taken them off, I've not felt that like I expected. And I don't know if it's because I was just in busy energy or what, but so I've decided I'm going to do it different this year. So I've got a bingo card that I've created and I'm going to have it up on the wall. And each time that I hit one, I'm just going to cross it out. And then because it stays there, I can actually see what I've achieved rather than remembering. So I'm trying it a different way. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I haven't yet. I've got intentions. I've got personal intentions for what I want to add into my life. I don't need to take anything out. I don't need to change anything either. I want to add things. And
Mhm.
if it doesn't add to the baseline that I've created, then it doesn't happen, is how I'm going into this year. Um, I I don't need to put loads of pressure on myself.
No.
I don't need to have fancy goals or monetary things that make sense to anyone else.
Makes sense to me. I didn't this year at all.
I do have a goal that I want to get to in my business, monetary wise, but that is more like that's the baseline that I need to survive on.
Mhm.
Um, let's just really be solid there for a while and work
Yeah.
out what.
Stop mixing these six-figure months, 10
Oh,
grand months, all of that
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
shares that people rant
Let's
on
just be
about.
really solid at a level
Yeah,
that sustains the lifestyle that you want to be at for a while and work
yeah,
out what that then means. Um, I have some events that I want to go to this year, so I have to do some things to be in a position to go to them. Um, but for me, it's very much about like just systems and behaviors that bring ease into my life. Um, and more about things that light me up. Like this
yeah,
year, I want to add more joy. Like these are just the highlights, obviously. Like just add more joy. Um, s- increase my network socially and through work. I've got some great projects coming on that I'm starting in January locally with other local businesses. That kind of feeds twofold, really. I don't know a great deal of people where I live, so it branches out my network there. It increases my client base, hopefully. Um, but just adding more fun, adding more
no,
joy. Like, yes, I will sit down with my business goals. Yes, I will get very intentional about that side of things, but I feel like this is a personal one. I feel like
yeah,
this
but you
year is
don't.
personal,
Yeah,
really. And I know that the better I am, the better all of that other shit gets, right?
definitely. Yeah,
That if I'm good, my business is good, my kids are good, my friendships are good, like what I attract is good, the more I pour into me, the more my energy goes up, the more I am living a life that feels good for me,
100%.
easier everything else around me is.
Yeah, and achieving those business goals become easier because you're in a completely different place. Your thinking, your feeling, your energy, everything's in a different place. So then all of a sudden, everything just starts to feel easier. And there's no reason why we can't live life in a place of ease and grace.
No,
Why do we make things so bloody difficult for ourselves?
yeah. Don't get me
We've got-
wrong. d- Don't get me wrong. I am intending to add more intention into my life because I am a
Yeah,
little bit fly by the seat of my pants and say yes to a lot of things. And time wise, that isn't always as forgiving. So I do put a lot of pressure on myself. So I do intend to get stricter with that side of things this year. But I need to make more room for fun, joy.
this is actually
Like,
something I've realised about myself because I am a fly by the seat of your pants type of gal, always have been. I don't really do structure, order, or anything else. Um, but I am really excited about actually bringing in some structure into my life. And I don't know where the hell this has come from. Genuinely, I'm like, do you know what? There's going to be certain days. I've already spoken to my husband. Right, there's going to be a certain day a week that we get to spend a couple of hours in the evening together. So he's already decided which day it is because there's less football on, which is fine
Yeah, I
because
was
that
gonna
works
say,
fine.
you're fitting in around the football, love.
Yeah, let's face it, like, I'm not completely, naive to it all. So that's fine. So then if I wanna bring some personal joy in, once a week, where am I gonna put that? Okay, if I'm gonna be running 5K or I'm gonna be training to do, the other bits, where am I gonna fit that in? So if I'm already planning that, do you know what feels good? Is last year or this year has all been about business, 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 and I'm grateful. But to plan these bits in first, and then the business gets to be planned around that, this way I'm going to find some balance.
Yeah, that feels
I'm going to
good.
find some joy. I'm going to find some excitement, and I'm going to be able to achieve those things that I want to achieve. But I say normally it's like, when do you want? Yeah, yeah, I'm free that night. Yeah,
I
I'll just
know,
stick that in
and this
here. Oh,
is
that's
the
all right. I'll
thing.
manage it somehow. And then I don't manage it. And then I don't do it. And then I'm not going to achieve what it is that I really want to do.
Yeah,
So,
I
yeah, I'm excited. It's not like me.
I am massively with you on that one. I come out in hives at the thought of, like, real targeted stuff and time
Mm.
management and structure. I literally, like, now just talking about it, I wanna rip my skin off because it's not who I am at all. But I have to admit now, and I have to acknowledge after, like, just over a year completely flying solo, being responsible for my business, my kids, everything, that behavior, whilst it's fun, makes my life even harder than it needs to be.
Yeah, 100%.
So I need to be friends with routine. I like routine. I have my morning routine. I have my bedtime routine. But it's not even routine. I think it's boundaries. And
Yeah,
I
see,
think
mine is routine.
probably comes from that whole, like, people pleasing, like, oh, I can't say no because they might not like me. So I say yes to everything. And then I'm the loser at the bottom of the pile that can't stay awake all day and hates everyone. And
Or
it's
you feel
like,
that
oh,
frustration, don't you? And
yeah. And then you
and
think, oh, fuck it. I've failed at that one thing. So why do I bother with everything else? Um, I think that's where it comes from,
yeah.
really. I mean, self-awareness is absolutely brilliant, isn't it? Like therapy, all of these things are great until you're like, oh, it is me. I'm the problem. It's me.
What till you realise that you're the problem.
Yeah. You're like, oh, okay, yeah. So why are you always tired? Why are you always this? Oh, because I rebel against any rules or
Yeah.
routine or
Instead
structure
of
or
blaming everything and everyone
systems.
around you, you've actually realised that there's just been no discipline or boundaries or, you know.
And it comes from that fear of, like, they might say no, or they might not like me, or they, like, I have a
But
big
guess
thing that
what?
I'm gonna scar my kids for life, and I'm gonna need to pay for a load of therapy for them, so I'll just say yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, but we know where that comes from, and that's really difficult, isn't it, when it comes to your kids? And I understand that. But, whether people like you or not from the outside or whether they're going to say no to you, remember, though, that destination and the sat nav, yeah, we're aiming for here. But if somebody says no and it takes us off that way, then great. Then we'll find the right direction, the right people, the easier way maybe of where we're going,
Yeah.
because we can't be liked by everybody. We can't
No.
have every opportunity that we ask for because it's just not right for us. They're not right for us. And it just makes way for the right things, the right people, the right situations. And I know it sounds corny, but it genuinely is the truth.
Oh, absolutely. So, instead of making really firm resolutions, we have got some questions that you can ask yourself, to ground into the new year. The first one is, what drained me last year that I'm allowed to release? What felt nourishing that I want more of?
You know, it doesn't have to be
Yeah,
big things, does it? It could just be what just made me feel really good, what made me feel relaxed, what made me just feel really at home, at peace.
those things are the real, like, they're the glimmers, aren't they? When
Yeah.
we sit and think about it, the what felt nourishing that I want more of, it's not really gonna be your shopping trips in Chanel, as much as it pains me to say. It's gonna be the sunrises and sunsets and the dinners and, the car journeys where you're just crying with laughter. It's gonna be those small things. Um what is one habit I could make slightly less harmful? Yeah, that's got to be the whole Netflix or scrolling on my phone. This is a nice one as well. What would feel supportive, not impressive?
Interesting.
And then if I trusted myself fully, what would I choose? Yeah.
That's just sparked something. That's just literally lit something even bigger up inside of me then.
Yeah. Those
I would
questions, like, are that move from the performance goals that we've spoken about, the shiny, the weight loss, the money, the job promotion, whatever, to presence, just that nourishing feeling of wholesomeness, really.
being with yourself, being with yourself wholeheartedly, knowing who you are, knowing how you want to live every single day and going for it and going for that rather than the big shiny objects and the things that everybody else is going for. And please
Yeah.
know that new year doesn't mean new you. You know, we can go into the new year as the person that we are who just wants to make these slight changes and just know that you're already worthy. You're already worthy of everything that you want, everything that you desire. You're worthy right now as who you are. And you're allowed to evolve slowly. It doesn't have to be big, exciting, bold movements, changes. You don't need to rip your life apart on the 1st of January and be making these big, bold moves. I mean, I could go outside and put my trainers on and go and run 5K if I wanted to. I'd probably kill myself in the process if I wanted to keep moving and not stopping and not walking. But do you know what? Let's start slowly. Let's make the whole process enjoyable. Let's allow ourselves to take in the steps and enjoy every moment.
Yeah, let's allow it to be sustainable and rooted in who you are, who you want to be, and what you want to achieve.
Yeah.
It makes sense to you. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else.
So whether you're making goals or staying as you are,
We are with you. We are here for it all.
yeah.
So, Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you very much for listening. We are really excited for the next episodes coming in January and continuing this conversation with you, lovely lots. Thank you very much, and we will be back next week.
Happy New Year.